Hey guys, what's going on? It's BradPhusion here with a quick update video for Space Enders. So the latest update, which was 1.033, has added a few new and some awesome additions to the game. So one of the first things is a news box, which if you pause or go to the main menu, you'll see it on the right side here displaying the features in the latest update as well as a few updates of the past going all the way back to 1.030. And I think this little addition here is kind of cool for those who haven't played Space Enders in a while, or for those who just want a quick overview of what has been added without actually going to the forums or the subreddit or anything like that. So for those people out there, I think this is a really good addition, and hell, it even helps me know what to do just in case I forget the names of the blocks that have been added, or if I forget to mention something in this video. So the next thing I'll go on to will be the merge block, which I'll show you guys over here. So the merge block is a block that allows you to combine small ships together or larger ships together as long as these connectors actually fit and align up. So this is a ship I've had for quite a while now. I've had the ship a few months ago. This was basically the original Bison before I made the other Bison and decided to use that instead. So this ship here is, you know, quite quick, it's a little fast, it's got some weapons on it, and hell, I might even bring it into the survival series at a later point. But other than that, this ship is just as it is right now. It's kind of cool looking, but to the sides here you can see that I've got these smaller, I guess, modules, if you'd call them that. So this one over here contains quite a few thrusters on it, so this is more of a mobility module, and this orange one over here is more of a armored kind of weaponized module with 3 rocket launchers either side and 2 chain guns, which I think is kind of cool. So I'll show you basically how they work right now. So right off the bat you can see that these are 2 separate ships, and that's how they will function for most of the part. But when I actually go inside of here, let me turn the merge block on, and let me just fly in here, you will actually notice that, well, let me go back to here again, you'll notice that when I get close enough, it'll actually kind of draw me in, much like a docking would in Kerbal Space Program. So once you get close enough, it'll kind of draw you in, then it'll lock you in place. Now once I've been locked in place, I actually control the other ship through my ship. So right now, the thrusters on the side, if I was to thrust up, you can actually see those thrusters thrusting as well, and reverse does the same thing. So what I can do now is I can just unlock it, because I now can control the landing gear, and even if I go to control panel here, all of it is all put into this one menu. I would kind of like to see it grouped up via what it's actually connected to. So for example, all the ship stuff would be at the top, and then all the attachment stuff would be in its own group, but regardless of that, it still works. So now that I've actually got this thing detached from the station, I can actually fly off now and use these thrusters to reach maximum speed quite a lot quicker than I would do without the actual attachment on. So I think it's kind of cool to have this sort of little merging thing, and I'll show you the other attachment in a second. I already flew quite a fair distance away. You guys can see the other thing in the background, which looks really stupid, but it's just a basic thing that I made up in like a few minutes or whatever. So let me land this back down here, and I will show you guys the detaching process. So once I get down here, I can lock it in using the landing gear, if I actually get the landing gear locked in. So there we go, I can lock it in. Then I just got to go up here, and I can just go merge block and go off. Now what this does is this actually detaches me from the thing. It'll let me hover there for a while, but it won't reattach me until I turn the merging block back on. So now I can just fly out of there and go on my merry way. So let me go over and show you the weaponized version, which basically functions, like I said before, the same way. All you do is you fly under it. I have to turn on my merging block now, so I can connect to it and then fly up to it, and you'll actually see, hopefully I can get a good view of it without it cutting out on me this time. You'll see it connect in a second, if I'm actually lined up with it, which I don't think I am. No, way off. You'll see in a second here, it should actually connect, unless I've got this set up so that this thing actually doesn't connect to me, which is probably the case. So what I'll do then is I'll just quickly access one of the reactors on the side here. Wait, I thought oh no, so the reactor's on top. I forgot I put them up here. So what I'll just do is I'll just quickly turn this one on, and then you go, you see the ship has now attached, and now that they're connected via the green light, I can then now undock it and then fly it around, and now I have access to the guns it has on it as well as the rocket pods. And I think this is kind of like I said, having these sorts of attachments for ships is really kind of cool, because if you ever need to change your ship depending on the situation, this makes it so much easier for you to do. And that's what I like about it. So for example, if you need a ship that's heavily armored, you can go grab an armor upgrade or an armor module, attach it on using a merging block, and then you can go out to battle. But if you need some speed, you can drop it off, come back, pick up the speed module, and then take that up with you as well. And so what I've done over here, despite this looking absolutely ridiculous, this is a ship made purely out of the merging block module. So this yellow one here is just a gyroscope module. This red one over here is a reactor module, the blue ones are thruster modules, and the green ones are actual missile modules. So whilst this ship moves quite slowly, it has modules that can be basically repurposed for whatever you need. So if I wanted to, I could get rid of the, get rid of these green rocket modules and replace them with the blue thruster modules. And I'll go inside the ship now just to show you guys. It does turn really slowly because I made this whole thing out of heavy armor, but regardless of that, you guys can see basically you can make a ton of things out of this, and I think this is really kind of cool. So right now I can obviously shoot all the rockets out of the rocket pods on the front. The thrusters work as they would, and I can disconnect everything if I really want. Sorry, if I really wanted to. So we go down here, let me turn off all the merge blocks off. And you actually see that everything is now separated, and this little teeny ship is all by itself. And that's basically what I intend to do with this sort of module thing. And like I said, it just gives you a basic idea of what you can do with the game now that we have these merging blocks. So like I said, if you ever need to change out a part of your ship, you can do that. Ever need to stick extra armor on the side of it, you can. And like I said, the merging block just allows so many new and awesome things to be added to the game. And the latest update also added a bug, which you guys can see over here, which is this weird little laser field thing. I'm not too sure why this is here. It usually hangs around the spawn, and it goes out a few blocks from the spawn as well. I'm not too sure why this is actually here. And if you're wondering about the world I'm using, this was actually a world I had originally planned to make for a kind of capture the flag or a rush game mode, where this would be one of the actual capture points, and I'll show you guys that right now. This was what I made before the actual merge block came out, about an hour or so beforehand, because I had the idea that I thought it might have been a 1x1 block, but it turns out it's a 3x3. But anyway, that's basically what I went off of, and I thought these look kind of cool, so you know, I left them here for just the purpose of having them here. But anyways, this is the inside of the capture point, which I had a set up. Like I said, this was a few months ago when I actually had done these things. This was alpha base, and if I turn the reactors on, you guys can see what this thing looks like when it's powered up, and it looks kind of cool. Like I said, it's got the red lights on the top to indicate that it is in control by the red team, and like I said, for the blue team to actually claim it or to kind of take out the like I said, it's kind of like Rush from Battlefield, where the blue team will have to come in here, and once they come in here to capture the point, they just have to blow it up. And then the power should shut off, despite me actually having put these ones here. But once those ones weren't there, the power would shut off on the station, the lights would go out, and the red team would then know that this base is being destroyed, and then they have to forcibly go back to, say, Bravo base and whatnot. But anyways, enough of that random little map talk or whatever. We'll go on to the final edition, which would be the station to ship thing. Now this isn't that big of a deal, but for some people who want to build stations, or who accidentally built a station, for example, and you want it to become a ship, it's quite easy to do. All you have to do is access some sort of control panel for the station, for example a reactor like I have down here. You got to press K, or like I said, simply sit into a seat or something like that. Then you go over to the info tab and you go convert to ship. Now once this is done, this thing is now actually a ship, which I can copy and paste, and you guys can see that it's not bound to the axis or the grid that it once was before. And if I was to release it whilst moving, it will be moving itself as well. So that's it for today's update, and like I said, if you guys want to see what's in the update, you have merge blocks, the conversion of station to ship, which I just showed you guys, the news box, which is this thing, and oh yeah, the colorable cockpit. I completely forgot about that, actually. That's why I like having the news menu now. But the colorable cockpit, which I should have showed you guys before when I was looking over here, is really a really nice addition as well. Like I said, it just allows you to color in the main part of the cockpit, which I think looks really cool now, because it didn't actually have color before, and it felt really odd having it as being the one thing that wasn't actually colored. And let me just quickly put down a cockpit here so you guys can see what the whole thing looks like painted. So let me go down here. Let me grab out a cockpit real quickly, down a block, and I'll put down the cockpit on top. So there's the cockpit colored in and painted red. I'll do another color just so you guys get another idea. So we'll go blue, and you guys can see what this looks like. Blue. So that's it for today's update. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you think about these modules sort of ideas and ship attachments. And if you could make yourself a ship attachment, what exactly would it be? Or would you have a sort of module system like this over here where you have different attachments depending on the situation at hand? Anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed it, let me know. And there's Atlantis down there. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.